So today I'm here with Rosa Escoda, who plays Emilia in the remote office. Rosa, how are you?
Hello. Hello. Yeah, really well. How are you?
Good. That was my most formal thing of the day.
Yeah. I've just realized how terrifying it is that you've got all these eyes behind you.
I know. Yeah, and none of them are yours. I think you're somewhere else on the
No
profile.
eyes. No,
Yeah,
no, none of mine.
no.
No.
But if Marshall over that way doesn't scare you, then I don't know what will. What will.
What? What?
Tell us a little bit about Rosa first. Like, who are you? A little bit about you as an actor, and sort of where you've got to now, and the sort of abridged version. But
Okay.
always the best question to ask someone
Well,
culturally diverse. I empathize.
yeah, right. I'm like, what does that mean?
Mhm.
I am a Spanish Korean actor based in London. I think that covers most bases.
Yep.
And I, yeah, work mostly in TV. And most recently, I was on Line of Duty. Does that does that
That
cover
works. Nice and fun. Nice
it's
and fun. It's
like
abridged.
I don't know what to say.
Is this correct? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have that whenever people ask me where I'm from too, and it's like,
Yeah, right.
how long have
Like
you been?
where I live or what would I how do
Yeah, and most people are like, no, no, like, where are you from? Not just one place doesn't work that way
yeah.
for everybody.
And also, not that this chat needs to go there.
No, but good.
When you know, I know people out there will have had this. Oh yeah, but where are you really from? And then I'm like, so yeah, it's complex.
Yeah, fun times. You should just pick one. I just pick one and go with one if it's someone I'm never gonna meet again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm from America. I'm not from America at all.
Yeah.
I've said to people I'm from Venezuela.
Have
Never been in my life.
you?
Never been in my
Well,
life.
out now.
Yeah, I don't think that person has internet, to be fair. So anyway, let's circle back to this. So we know who Rosa is. Who's Emilia Lee? Who's the character that you play in the show? What's she about? Give us a little bit about her and what her vibe is.
Um, Emilia. She's ambitious. She is focused. She is quite mysterious, I think, at
Hmm.
least to some of her colleagues. And she's got her sights set on becoming CTO. And yeah, that might not end up being quite as smooth as she'd anticipated. Yeah.
And she only sort of lets on as much as she feels like she needs to let on. She's part of the
Absolutely.
group,
Yeah.
but she keeps the professional veneer more than others a lot of the times, I'd say.
I mean, I would say she's a real adult in the group. I said it. I said
That's
it.
fair. That's fair.
Um,
That's probably fair. She has
and
her moments. we see
she
her
does. She does. She's not like Iron
not
Lady,
stiff.
but she. I think she just has like a vision, and she's more focused and doesn't want to get. Sh Actually, what I think is that because she really knows herself, she doesn't feel like she needs to get sucked into like the drama or the politics or yeah, been there, done that, grown up.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you, when it came to her, how did you feel you had similarities, sort of Rosa and Emilia? And then where do you think that you're different from the character?
Rosa and Emilia are not that similar.
Okay.
um, although
Good casting by me.
a great challenge for me, but I think they became, where I started with Emilia. Um, she goes on a bit of a journey and she gets closer maybe to how I might be instinctually,
Mhm.
but that is not to say that I think if any of my friends are watching this, they'll be like, actually, you can be pretty direct and blunt. I'm sorry, that's my email coming in. So maybe I am really like her. I think I can be
maybe not to that extreme.
You know,
Maybe
depends on
to
the
that extreme.
depends on the context. But yeah, I think she's definitely much more kind of linear and structured, and I'm not. But I think I share her sense of, drive and ambition and perhaps level of directness, depending on how many drinks I've had.
Excellent. Linear is a good word to describe her. I haven't thought of it in that context at all, but when you said that, I was like,
Yeah,
actually, yeah, that
yeah,
definitely encapsulates just her essence in a really good
yeah.
way. I'm asking this to a lot of people. What was your perception of maybe her and also the project as a whole when we first spoke about it, whenever the hell that was, because I can't remember what
Yeah,
time we
wow.
and how did that potentially change and evolve from that start point to where we
Mhm.
got to now, having filmed it and done it all?
Um, big question, actually.
I know it's what it is.
Um, okay. How does my perception of her change? Yeah?
Yeah, let's go with her
Okay.
first and then the show.
And then the show. Well, I found it harder than I'd anticipated to really fully stay with her and like some of the choices that I'd made because of the fact that the show allowed for improv and for some spontaneity and sometimes literally couldn't keep a straight face, so that complicated things slightly.
That's just
uh,
when you left camera, though. You just left frame on most of those occasions, to be fair.
yes,
Or your phone was your
that
best
was
friend in the edit,
yeah, and
I found.
that was actually a choice that she would have made,
Mhm.
but also really conveniently meant that I could hide. um but I think I'd not necessarily fully kind of thought about what the reality was of conducting so much, I guess, real business over Zoom, as most of the world has been doing, would really entail,
Mm.
and how, yeah, how do get this kind of like really sometimes mundane but really fascinating little window into people's like lives and how you interact, and you definitely behave differently than you would in an office, like you just do. Um and so I think that it had to shape shift into something that maybe I didn't think it would be
And
like.
once you start working off of other people in their little
Uh-huh.
boxes on the screen,
Absolutely, yeah.
you're getting all of that coming at you. And sometimes, if it's the scene where there's 9 or 10 of us, there's all this information overload coming at you, and you don't know what's what half the time. But that's the reality of some of these real life team calls that people have been.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I think actually for Emilia, the handy thing is that she felt like she could just switch off from that stuff because she found it irrelevant. Um, she likes to just zone into, what she really needs to know and kind of leave the rest, which was quite handy anyway. But yeah, it was a really fun experience.
It was definitely an experiment. That's the word I seem to be coming up with a lot in
Uh-huh.
chats with everybody. It was just like a big experiment on
Yeah.
how to make something on Zoom, how to get so many people together at the same time and create a
Amazing.
character and
Yeah.
just somehow make it, I guess, like a big sort of staged theater piece, but over Zoom in many ways. And
Mhm.
can that work? And I think we all had fun doing it and learned something about how to how
For
to how
sure.
to operate within the sphere of like this box. Just technically
Yeah.
from an actor's perspective, how did you find that as a process? I know I've skipped a question. I'll bring it back in a minute, but organically now in the conversation, what was it like for you acting within the confines of Zoom and also having to do that sometimes, like I said, with 8 or 9 other people on your screen?
Yeah.
Technically.
Um, well, beyond what everyone sees as well, there's the reality of like, you know, sometimes I remember it was really warm and I'd need to like try and get up to get a drink, but I couldn't because I'd have my laptop like set up exactly right and it's on my lap on like two cushions and like at the right height for me, and so I can't move. And it's yeah, I think maybe experiment is actually a great word because you realize how limiting that can be, but actually in this situation it's also really relevant. So actually you just bring that into the moment. Uh yeah, and getting to sort of watch how everybody else's setup was is what I found really fascinating. To
Okay.
be honest, I think some of the best like moments might be moments that maybe the audience doesn't even get to see. Like us actually or making it onto the Zoom to begin with was, at times quite a drama, which was pure gold. And maybe that would
Sometimes
be
I've
so.
included that, to be fair, because we needed it in some of the scenes, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's kind of, but yeah, there's definitely been moments of someone's internet not working, or
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
someone, has some other issues where they just like disappeared completely, or they're in the scene and then they're not in the scene, and what the hell happened? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
which again is the reality of working online for most people. Just doesn't help when you're doing a scripted show. Um,
Yes. True, true, true.
just to go back to the point from before, the other question I had, which is around your perception of the actual show and the project when I first spoke to you about it,
Uh-huh.
and then how that changed. And this is a very much like total candid honesty. And if the initial thought was this is a crazy fucking stupid idea, then hit me with it, because in my mind there's a part of me going, is this a crazy fucking stupid idea? So yeah, like
Okay. Well,
what were your honest initial thoughts when we first spoke about it? I don't know when it was. I want to say January or February.
I don't know when that was either. I remember thinking that I didn't really like fully know how it was going to work. Um, but that was kind of what intrigued me, and maybe you didn't know either. I mean, you probably did,
I still don't.
but I mean, I didn't think it was a crazy fucking stupid idea because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. But I tick. But yeah, I remember just feeling quite intrigued. I mean, I still am. I haven't seen it. So I think I am intrigued. I want to know how it's come together.
Yeah,
Because I have a version in my head and I've got no idea
it's
if
not that.
that's how it will be. It's not that.
Never gonna
And
be
also
that.
I've
Not the
got
version that was in my head either. Like it can't.
uh-huh. Well, yeah, I think we all quickly realized once we got on these calls that you just never know. You don't know how people are going to say things or how they're going to react or what's going to happen on the day or whether there's, the mic's not going to work or there's going to be a delay and everyone's just kind of like doing that awkward like pausing thing. But if I've taken anything from it, from watching lots of other people have moments on Zoom, Jackie Weaver call out, is that um yeah, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. People are funny beings.
I think that's probably the best word to describe it. It's gonna be interesting and to see how it turns out. But
Yeah,
it taps into something in the zeitgeist of where people are right now, or at least have just come out of with
yeah.
remote office
Mm,
working. So hopefully we've tapped into something that at least in one scene people can look at it and go, yeah, I can relate to that. And it's probably some
yeah,
randomly mundane moment that's not funny at all, but that they can just look at it and go, that's happened to me. Hopefully.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Awesome.
And hopefully everyone will have a different moment.
Well, that's it. And the way I'm looking at it is it's a character piece, not a Spielberg like, production value piece. And it's more about
Mhm.
people probably having their favorite characters. And there's going to be different ones for different people because the characters are so different
They
across.
really are.
Um,
Yeah.
and on that note, talking about characters, I am going to finish this with some questions with these little cue cards.
Oh my gosh,
More
a
fake,
prop.
more
Okay.
fake. No, no, not all of
Okay.
them. I'm picking randomly like three or four. But what I'm asking
Okay.
everybody to do is answer them as the character. So as Emilia, not as Rosa.
Okay.
Um, let's see if there's shit ones.
Well, then she'll tell you.
Well, I'm just not going to ask them, but she would tell
Oh.
me. Okay. Growing up, who was the favorite in your family? Go away, Blur.
My older brother.
You seem like there's a bit of disdain about that.
No.
No? Okay. Oh. Would you prefer to be a singleton or smug married?
That feels like a stupid question.
Thank
I'm
you.
already married,
Are you
so
smug married? Not really.
no, I'm just married.
In what ways are you prone to addiction?
I believe in hard work.
Is that an addiction or a virtue?
It's a choice.
Hmm. Finally.
And I think.
Oh, not finally.
No, what I was going to say, and I think that addiction involves choices, at least in the beginning.
Hmm. Profound. And maybe throughout without knowing it subconsciously. Have you ever had a religious experience?
Yeah.
Why is it not so?
No.
Hmm. Okay, well, I'm going to ask you one final one. Do you have a technique for keeping calm?
Well, I meditate in the mornings.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it's a recent thing with this app. My husband got really into it, so.
Is that so
Yeah.
because of lockdown or just irrespective of that?
Well, it kind of started when the business got sold, and it just helped.
Process.
But I think I'm pretty calm normally anyway. I think I don't tend to overreact to things. I don't think it's particularly helpful. I don't think it's a good way to manage what life kind of throws at you. So
Definitely externally, we all think that you're pretty calm. We don't know if internally you're kind of bottling it in, though. Sometimes,
no, I'm not bottling it in.
No, okay.
No.
Glad we had to talk about it, though, just to feel reassured about that. All right, thanks for that, Emilia. Can Rosa come back? Can we channel her back a little bit, please? Amazing. That was fun. Cool. Listen, last little moment to you. If you want to let people know where to connect with you on the socials, feel free. If you want to plug anything that you're in or that you've been in or anything coming up that you want to shout about, by all means do. You already mentioned Line of Duty. We can plug that again. Basically, plug whatever the fuck you want.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The only socials that I have are Instagram, and I believe it's at Rosa Escoda, which is my name. I can't plug anything else because I'm not allowed. So that's all I have to say about that.
All right.
I can plug the remote office.
Woohoo! Didn't even pay her to say that.